Hi, welcome back to the second video. So for this video I want to set up my dory as well as all the inserts and things for my planner. So we're going to walk through that. The first thing I usually do each month is set up my dashboards for my planner, and the way that I do that is I take the actual dashboards that you get in the dashboard kit and I use some of the die cuts to make the tabs, and I do that because I don't really need like what's behind each tab. I just really like having the tabs. So I'm gonna go ahead and just glue these on each one, and they don't necessarily have to match. I don't know, I picked these ones as I was going through them, and so I just picked some of the leaves and I wanted them to stick out a bit instead of being flat, just because it kind of adds a clip effect without it being a clip. And then this one I'm going to do with just this little moth, and I'm just going to attach his one wing to it so he'll stick out like that. And then I wanted to place this one so that it was kind of in between all of those other ones, so I'm going to do those ones first. And then I wanted this guy to stick out kind of backwards from the other one, but he'll actually sit behind this one so that when you look at my tabs sticking out from my planner, that's how they'll look. So I think that's really cute. So this is going to be the front of my dashboards, and of course because they fit around my dory I need a back of my dashboard as well. And for that I use the paper that comes with the kit, and I'll do each one differently, of course. And even though they're double-sided, so each one I just need to cut out so I usually cut out my width first, which I already have marked at 3.75, and then decide, oh, I should have done the blue, oh well. I could always flip this one over too, right? So that's okay. I kind of like that. So, and then the tall is at 6.75 for the personal size. And I always keep these because I do use them further on in the month. But I think I'm going to use this side because I really like the blue versus the all green. So I am going to do the tall this way. And that's one nice thing about having the double-sided paper is that you can choose which way. I kind of like that. You can choose which way you want your papers to face, and you get what you want, which is really cool. Alright, so I do like this, so I think that's going to end up being my, oops, page. And then of course the stripe. And I think I'll do the same thing on this side, that way I don't, just in case they get confused, they end up with the same one. Alright, so there, those are all cut out. Now, I had a plan with this, and I think it'll work out really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this in half. So this is 8 inches, so I'm going to cut it at 4 inches. Oops. And then I'm going to cut it planner width personal width wise. I'm going to set that one aside, and on this side I think I'll use this way. Alright, so I'll show you what I'm going to do with those in just a second here. So I really like having pockets in my planner for receipts and other things like that, and so on these backs, because of course I'm going to use these ones as fronts, on a couple of these backs I'm going to put the acetate on, and I'm just going to put a tiny little bit of adhesive on the bottom, just so that it stays where it's supposed to. So on a couple of these, and I really like it on the sort of nondescript back piece. And what I'll do is when I run them through my laminator, then I'll take my scissors and just use one side of my scissors to trim that, and when it's laminated it won't, you'll still be able to put your pockets in. So, okay, so those two will be pockets. So, and I think what I'm going to do is, I kind of want that to go with that one. Maybe this to go with this one, and we'll put the other pocket on this one, and we'll put that one with that one. Okay, so I like to plan out which fronts go with which backs, and it doesn't matter which order these are in right now, because they don't need an order until we actually put them in. So now I'm going to run them through my laminator, and I have a Scotch brand laminator. I bought this one thinking it would be better than my original one, which is a swing line, but I actually kind of like the swing line better, if that makes sense. Maybe at some point I'll do a review of both of them, but I do kind of like the other one better, but I keep pulling this one out for some reason. So, alright, so if you can see, my sheet is here, and I'm going to put in the front so that it faces away from me, and it's going to get stuck by the side here, so I don't have to put any adhesive on that. But what I do like to do is put a tiny bit of adhesive on the back of the back piece, and that is so I can keep it at about 1/4 of an inch away from the front, so that when it's feeding through it doesn't move around, and I can lift it and I'm not too worried about it moving as it's being laminated. I do like to run these through twice through the laminator, and the reason I do that is because sometimes these edges are not quite smooth, and so when you run it through twice it sometimes will adhere the parts that aren't quite going through the laminator properly. So all I'm going to do is finish laminating all of these. Now that you've seen the first one, I'm going to fast forward through the rest of them, and you can see that I put them through twice, and I always flip them over every time, and I will meet you back once I'm finished putting all of them through. So I'm just going to put my laminator off to the side now. One nice thing is you can stand that one up, so if you need just a small amount of space, you can definitely stand it up. So now I'm going to trim off all the excess. And I usually trim off all the sides that are flat first. It's easier. You can keep those larger pieces for, you can use them for watercoloring in your journal if you want. Instead of using like packaging, you can do that. I've got a few, so I don't really need any more. Now for this one, because the tab is here, I'm actually just going to cut till approximately just before the tab, and then I'm going to insert the blade again just after the tab. And then I'm going to take my scissors and just trim around. The sides of this one. And voila, just like that. And what I also like to do, this is a recommendation, is these corners are very, very sharp. So I always like to just round them off, and I don't use my corner rounder just because the lamination sheet is fairly thick. So I just give it just a quick little round with my scissors. And so that's how they'll look, all of my inserts, or all of my dashboards. Two of them, of course, I did the pockets on, which was really cool. And yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and finish trimming them all. I'll fast forward through it all, and then I'll meet you back here when I'm done that. Alright, so there's all of my dashboards, and in the middle of two of them is the pockets. So when I lay them out, it's actually going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. So like that. So when I put them all together, they'll sit in my planner just like that. And the first one has a pocket, and the third one has a pocket. So that's really cool. So what I'll do is, once everything is ready, then we'll set up the planner. Right now I'm just going to throw a clip around them so that they don't fold open, and just set them to the side. So now that those are done, oh, if you watched, I made a little video on how to make a bookmark for your dory as well, so that's going to go in. I like to put all my stuff that's going to go in my planner all in one pile, and when I'm ready to decorate in my actual planner, then it's all in one spot, which is nice. So I didn't do a video on the front cover. I did a video on how to watercolor though in your planner, which is really cool if you'd like to check that out on my channel. I'm going to go ahead and write in some of the stuff that I do during the month that is personal and work stuff. And I'll always, on this month, I try and write down special events, anything that both my husband and I need to do, as well as work things. So on Tuesdays, I ask for day off requests with staff. If you ever see me writing DOR, that's what that means. I also, on Wednesdays, I try and do the schedule for the staff. Sometimes it doesn't always work out that I do it that day, but I try. But this is a good reminder for the whole week that I know I need to do the schedule at some point. Okay. Then we have money-related things, which happens on the 1st. So I do a tip out every 2 weeks. And we also do payroll that week as well. Okay, and my husband does not have any soccer, which is kind of nice. He's done indoor now and getting ready for outdoor, but outdoor, I'm not too sure if he's playing outdoor this year, just because of the schedule. Sorry about that, I was getting close to the time where I needed to restart my camera, so I did that. So on the 27th, we have a mosaic event. And I can't think of anything else that we're doing together other than the trailer is gonna start going out, which I will fill in as we get the trailer ready. I'm thinking the trailer probably won't get out until the middle of the month, just because of all the things that need to be done before the trailer goes out. So I probably won't put that in until we're ready to start going. So that's it for that calendar. Now on these 2 pages for May, I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do for these 2 pages. It's probably going to be my currently things. I did do a currently, I think I did, yes I did. I did do a currently in my April. I didn't really keep up with it because I've actually read and started reading another book, and I forgot to write that in. And then a couple other things have gone on. So I think I'm going to continue on with the currently things. I need to just grab my template though. There we go. Okay, so I have this template from Dear Lily Designs, and I like using these squares for my currently, and I usually only do one on one side, and then I bring it down a little bit, and then I bring it down a little bit. So I'm going to do that again. I'm just going to use black for this, and I like using the templates because it makes it very easy. You don't have to think about it at all. You just put it where you want it and draw around it. She has lots of other templates. She has tiny little pocket size, or like credit card size ones. This one is actually a personal size one that you can stick inside of your planner, of your Pages planner, so that's kind of neat. I have a hexagon one as well that does the same thing. You can put it in your planner, but all my other ones are credit card size, so I really like using them. Alright, so currently now. This spot I'm going to leave blank. I have a cute little idea I want to do with it, but it'll happen later in the month. I'll do a video on that. And now we're ready to start planning. So this was my March one, and I really liked what I did here. And so I am going to do that again, but I wanted to see how big I made these things. So 2¼ inches. Alright. So that's all I needed to see, was how big these sheets were needing to be. And I'll keep these for other things. I could also have used this as part of my bookmark if I would have thought about it, but oh well. Perfect. Okay, so those are all in. And as you saw, I left the pages in the middle just because I like to use these divided pages. Now we're going to do the, I like to corner round all of my corners. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So there, that's done, all the corner roundings. And I like using my envelope punch board for that because it gives a bigger corner than this little guy. So now that that is done and ready to go, we can now start putting dates and things on. And I want to use some skinny washi, and I was going to use one of these guys, I think, but I don't know which one. Maybe the little hexagons. I think that would be really cute to split the pages in half, because of course I'm going to plan vertically. So on this first page, because I'm going to leave this section here for notes and then start Monday on the second one, I don't have to leave as much room, so I'm going to count across and see how far I need to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 18 spaces, so if I do 9 and 9 and split down the center of 9, then that should be good. So this week ends on a Wednesday, so I'm just going to leave this as my last page, and if I decide I need to use more, then I can use these last couple pages if I need to. Okay, I guess I ran out of time again. Anyways, now that it's split for my vertical planning, I can put in the days of the month, or the days of the week, or whatever days. And I do that with my little handy dandy tool. A lot of people have asked where I've gotten this. I get it from Creative Memories. You can go to their website. It is an awesome tool. I use it all the time. And yeah. So I use it to place my stickers so that you can easily see them. Oh, ouch. Or you can easily place them straight. I'm going to place them so that they're side by side, I think, this month. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Okay, so I'm going to continue on doing these so you don't have to watch them all, and I'll meet you back here when I'm done. Boy, thank goodness for rechargeable batteries, because apparently I'm filming too much today. Well, with these 3 videos, I mean, I knew I would run out of batteries, but alright, so those are done. But other than that, this part is pretty much set up. So, now that that is set up, we can go into my dory and finish setting it up in there. So, my dory is pretty easy to set up. I have all of my clips just washi taped in, and I usually change out the washi tape every month and take out receipts that I no longer need. Nope, don't need that one. Stamps for postcards, I make sure that I keep those in. I put the washi tape on because sometimes my clips come out, so I don't like having them just loose. Alright, so we slip in the first one. There's the first one's changed out. This one has 2 clips on it. Again, pieces of washi tape. I usually try and take these off because, you know, if I decide to reuse these, then I may or may not use the same washi tape next time, right? I want to keep the butterflies on here, though, I think. I'm going to leave that in for now. I'm going to take my April one out just for a moment. I'm going to put my May one in, and if I can find my elastic, oops, I should actually stick a, I'm going to stick a dimensional behind that, I think. So I'm just going to take one of these little dimensional stickers, stick it behind here, because I seem to keep catching on that, so that should help hold it down. Alright, so I do like the butterflies, so I'm going to leave the butterflies on this month. So my dory will be inside the butterflies, but also inside this. I'm just going to slip my April one in here around this one that I never use for now, just because I do still have a few more days left of planning, so that'll just sit in there for a couple of days. That's my wallet. And now we'll just take this guy out, and he's just connected to my wallet, I believe. So I'll take this one out, put in my next new one, and this one is in here. Pretty much I use this one for most of my work receipts just because it does get really full. So if I have another insert in here, a lot of times the insert just gets pushed out. So I'll take that guy off. This insert here is for my staff schedule, so I keep all of my day off requests and things in here so that when I do my planning for staff, they just text me or whatever, and then I put it in for the month. Let's just take that off, and that can come off just like that. Perfect. So now you can see I've put in all of my May things there. And I'll put in some clips. Let's see, I'll put this one back in. And I'll put this one back in. Maybe right here. And just secure it in the back with a little bit of washi tape. And I like to form the washi around my clips. They seem to stay on better. Do the same here. So a couple of extra bows. And I might add, I don't know, I might add something else. I might put the butterfly back in there, I'm not sure. But for now, that's what I'm going to put in, and I'm going to put my bookmark in, and of course, because my bookmark should start, I'm going to put it on my currently page as well as the start of the month. And then I can close that up. And right now it's a little bit thick just because I do have the extra dory in there, but once I take the extra dory out, then it'll be nice and flat, and this will hang out here, and my bookmarks will hang out the bottom. So that's it for setting up my actual planner. And now I'm going to do a video on how I set up my bullet journal, so I'll see you in that video. Thanks, bye!